Hey visionaries, Butch Hartman here. So excited you've decided to join us here on Vision Possible. It's here at Vision Possible. We want to help you make your daydream your day job. I mean, imagine that statement. We said that statement at a meeting once. We're like, well, that'd be a really cool slogan. And to me, it's one of the best slogans ever. Want to make your daydream your day job. Because how many people get a chance to make their daydream their day job? Most people, large percentage of the populace, end up working in a job they're very miserable at. They don't like. They hate the fact that they've got to do this job, and they always have other dreams and desires they want to fulfill. But instead, they've got to do this certain job they were either forced into or somehow, through a series of circumstances ended up in, and they're very unhappy with it. And then once they have the job, they're afraid to get out of the job or change jobs because they've been so comfortable or ensconced in that job that they're afraid to change or move out of that job because it's scary. And I get it. It is scary to change jobs midstream. It's scary to, have to switch over to another job just because of a paycheck. And look, the paycheck is king. Or here's what I should say. The paycheck is not king, but some people make the paycheck the king. And that is the title of our video today. The paycheck is not the king. It is not the king at all. The paycheck is something that comes as a result of your dream coming true. I think I said in one of my videos recently, don't chase after the money. Don't chase after the money. Chase after the heart of the viewer. Chase after the heart of the client. Don't chase after the money. But the paycheck is not the king. But the one thing we do in this country, in America, and I should say across the world, but I've only lived the majority of my life in America, but people think that having lots of money and lots of, finances is the key, and they make that the king. They make that their Lord. And I think I said this also in a recent video. Money is a fantastic tool, but it makes a terrible God. It makes a terrible God. There's a scripture in the Bible that says it's the love of money that's the root of all evil. It doesn't say that money is the root of all evil. It says the love of money is the root of all evil. Money is a fantastic tool. Money can be used to save people's lives if you do it in the right way. Money can be used to help the world and create change in a great way if it's done properly. But if it's used properly. But a lot of people, they don't want to go there. They don't want to, they don't think of using money to help people. They just want to get as much money as they can because they think that's going to make them happy. And the money, it's funny, not funny, it's actually sad. People will work their whole life to get all this money and they'll destroy their bodies in the process. And then at the end of the day, they've got to use all the money they made to fix their broken bodies. And it's sort of a weird, sad cycle that happens. And I don't ever want to see that happening to you. I certainly don't want to see it happening to me. And I've made money. I've made a lot of money in my life, and I'm very blessed and grateful and humbled to have done that. But I try to get back where I can. The Bible also says to give and it shall be given unto you. That's Luke 6:38. That's a scripture that I live by. When you give, it'll be given back to you. How does that work? Well, people, I guess if you're not a Christian, but if you're just a person who, doesn't have a religion or whatever, if you go through the world, you're going to hear terms like karma, what goes around comes around, that kind of thing. That's really based on a biblical principle called you reap what you sow. So if you give money, you're going to get money. If you give knowledge, you're going to get knowledge. You reap what you sow. And I've lived it. I've seen it. I cannot testify about it enough. It is absolutely 1000% true. You will reap what you sow. And if you're out there sowing nothing, and I mean this, guys, if you're out there expecting a ton from the world, yet you're giving nothing, I don't mean just finances. If you're not putting in any effort, if you're complaining a lot, and if there's a sense of entitlement, and I'm not pointing out anybody specifically or saying anybody's names, but when I was younger, I had a real sense of entitlement, like the world owed me a living, and then I realized that, hey, wait a minute, the world doesn't owe me a living. I owe it to the world to do a better job and be a better person. That's what I ended up realizing. And that unfortunately came through a lot of experiences I didn't have to go through, but I sort of put myself through them because I wasn't really paying as much attention to others as I should have been. And I thank God that I did eventually learn that lesson. And for the last 20, 25 years or so, I've been trying my best to walk in that, trying to help other people, trying to be a better person. And am I always successful? Absolutely not. But I do know that every day I give it my best. I do know that. So don't make the paycheck your king. Let's go back to that for a second. Now, I know you're working at something really hard and you're really wanting to make it a success. I completely get that. But what does success mean to you? Have you even thought about what that means? Do you really know what that means to be successful? Like, what I mean by that is this. Well, I want to have my screenplay made into a movie. Okay, great. Then what? Well, then I'll make $1 billion and then I'll make another sequel. It's like, well, maybe, maybe not. Some people make movies. They don't get to make a sequel because the movie didn't do that well. It makes a little bit of money. And you're probably not going to make a ton of money on the movie if you're just the writer. If you're the writer on the movie, you'll get paid to write the screenplay. Then you get paid a little bit on the back end, a few $1,000s here and there, provided how well the movie does. And then you're back at square one again. But now you've got a movie under your belt. Okay, you're experienced. But now you got to write another movie and another one. And movies take a long time. Movies are a huge project, right? A person I know today just texted me and said they'd pitched a show to Netflix. And they're so excited. The meeting went great. We're waiting to hear from them. And I said, great. And I texted them and said, don't expect to hear things back the next day because these big giant companies take forever to get back to you. So, you may have pitched a show to Netflix, but it's going to take you a while to hear back from them. Unless you're a friend of somebody or unless they really want what you have, it takes a while because for every idea you have that you bring in, there's 500 other people that have brought something to Netflix too. Whoever's got the big cash, the big bag of cash and is buying projects is the one everybody comes to. So when you're sitting and I've been there, I've been in the lobby of Netflix, sitting there, waiting to go pitch a show. And what's funny about Netflix, man, it's like, because I've pitched shows for decades, and it used to be one studio at a time. You'd go to Paramount, you'd go to, Universal, you'd go to Warner Brothers, Nickelodeon. But now with Netflix, it's almost like every studio combined is there because they do so much. So you walk into, and all those other studios, I'd walk into the lobby and it'd be 4 or 5 people waiting to go in besides me, maybe 3 or 4. But in Netflix, there's like maybe 80, 90 people in that lobby waiting to go pitch a show. And you're like, wow, you're looking around going, man. So the competition is enormous. So what I'm saying is, if you're making the paycheck your king, okay, so I'm trying to word this in the right way. If you're making the paycheck your king, what will success be to you? Will it be because you get paid? Or will it be because you got your project made? There's a rhyme. Did I get it made or did I get paid? Or did I get paid to get it made? You be the judge. But what does that mean? What does success mean to you? Does it mean getting your movie made? Does it mean getting your series made? And by the way, let me ask you this. Let's say you get your movie made. How about this? You get your movie bought. They buy your movie. You're writing it. It's going great. And then suddenly in the middle of writing your movie, they decide they're not going to do it and they cancel it. And now you've been paid a little bit. They own your movie. Now what do you do? Is that success to you? You've sold your movie, right? But now you can't do anything with it because it got canceled in the middle. And that has happened to me. I was writing a screenplay for this big, huge studio that I sold to them. And then right in the middle of writing it, they said, no, we're not going to do it. And then they stopped. It's like, okay, now what do I do? I guess I got to come up with another idea now. And that's really what you should be doing all the time anyways, having a bunch of ideas. I know the one you're working on right now is probably your baby. It's the one you love the most. Have a backup idea or two. Stephen King. I just use him as the first thing that popped in my head. Stephen King always has another book that he's writing. John Grisham, always another book that he's writing. J.K. Rowling, all the Harry Potter books. She wrote a bunch of other books before Harry Potter, right? You're probably not going to sell an amazing project on your first try. You're just not. I mean, maybe you will. I hope you do. But what does success mean to you? You need to write this down. I want you to write that down. Here's what success means to me, ... And is it like the fact that you successfully got through the meeting? Is it the fact that you successfully sold the project? Is it the fact you successfully made the project? In fact, you might even get to the point where you write the movie and they're making the movie. The movie gets made, but maybe the movie doesn't get released. You know, happens all the time. Movies get made, they don't get released. There's movies with giant, huge celebrity stars in them. Celebrity stars? Celebrities. Stars. But people that are legit movie stars, that they make these movies and they go right to DVD because they just know the movie's not good and it goes right to DVD. Countless stars have done that. I say DVD, that's not even a thing anymore. It goes right to streaming or it goes right to home video, whatever the term is now. But, you know, even the people with huge track records don't hit it out of the park every time. So again, if you're making the paycheck your king, if it's always after the money, if you're going after the money, you're never going to be satisfied. Money is a great tool, but it makes a terrible God. Don't worship it. Don't worship the money. And you know, you might want to sell a TV series. I can't even tell you how many people I meet that want to sell a TV series, and I am excited for them. Very few of them that I've met want to put in the time that it takes to develop a TV series and then pitch it, sell it, get it made, get a staff, go through all the day-to-day machinations of selling a show, of writing a show, editing a show, looking at your storyboard, animating the show, dealing with a staff, dealing with human beings. That's one thing too. When you sell a project, you've got to deal with human beings that all have issues, that want to work. Sometimes some want to work really hard, and those are the ones you lose first. They're working so hard, they're so good, they end up getting better offers, or they end up, selling a show somewhere else. It's the good ones you lose. The ones that work hard but maybe aren't as talented, I don't know. They stay around too. There's some people that just for whatever reason are great and don't want to stay around. There's all kinds of things. There's people that don't do the work they say they're going to do. But then you get those great surprises. Excuse me, moving to the camera there. But then you get those people with amazing work ethic and talent, and people that really care. They care as much as you do. And there's really those gems out there that you will find. I promise you that. But is that success, having a great staff? I mean, to me, when I worked on Fairly Odd Parents and all the other shows I worked on at Nickelodeon for decades. I worked on Fairly Odd Parents for 20 years. From the time I created it to the time I left Nickelodeon, it was 20 years. 98 to 2018. 20 years, crazy on one show. And I can't even tell you what a phenomenal blessing that is. And what a rarity that is. And I don't say that to pat myself on the back. I give all the credit to God. God was my source there the whole time. And people might not believe that, but God was and is my source. And when you're working on your dream come true, what does success mean to you then? Does it mean you're getting all your shows made? Does it mean doing 2 seasons, 3 seasons, 5 seasons, 10 seasons of your show? What does that mean? Do you want to go off and do something else? Do you want to stay where you are? Do you want to become better and stretch yourself? Yes, you're doing a cartoon TV series now, but you want to go do an animated feature film. Do you want to go do a live action show? There were many times I tried to stretch myself and pitch some live action shows. But the company I was with only saw me as an animation guy, which is completely fine. I was doing that very successfully, but I wanted to do live action too. And I did some live action stuff. I did it on my own. And we did some live action components to Fairly Odd Parents for a while. It's just interesting the hours it takes to do live action as opposed to animation. Both of them require hours and hours of production. But with live action, you've got to really put in the hours. I mean, you have to be on set at like 5 a.m. You don't get out of there until about 9 o'clock at night. It's the hours are insane with live action. Ask any person who works in live action. People work in animation, the hours can be crazy too. You're just kind of more in one location. You don't have to go run around so much. It's a little easier. You work in an air-conditioned building all day. way different hours in animation, way different work environment, I should say. And is that what success means to you? I guess I could title this video, I have two titles. It could be, what does success mean to you? Or don't let the paycheck be king. I kind of like the paycheck one though. And if you're making the paycheck your king, you're just going to follow that paycheck. And you're probably going to lose your dream along the way. If you follow that paycheck, you'll lose your dream along the way. And you're going to kind of forget why you ended up where you ended up when you followed the paycheck. And when you follow the paycheck, that just means anyone can take your place. Oh, that's good. When you follow the paycheck, that means anyone can take your place, because that means everybody else going for that paycheck can do the same thing you can do. When you follow your dream, you're the only one that can do it. Oh, that's good. Write that down. Right? Are you writing that down? When you follow your dream, you're the only one that can do it. And that's how you're going to be valued. Your value will come from the fact that you are the only one that can achieve your dream. I'm finishing this video and I'm going to post that. I'm going to post that. I like that. You're the only one that can achieve your dream. And I think that's great. So guys, remember, I just wanted to encourage you today because, you know, it's so vital that you take every opportunity to fulfill your dream. And I know there's amazing things to do in the world, and there's times to take a break, and there's times to rest. And maybe your dream comes with a lot of rest. Maybe your dream is to relax. Maybe your dream is just to read all day, and that's amazing. That's amazing. If that's your dream, no one can do it but you. You know, but maybe you want to read a little bit and maybe teach a little bit, or I don't know what you want to do. Or you know, I primarily deal with entertainment here. But man, if you're writing a screenplay, write a couple pages, take a break. Write a couple pages, take a break. Make sure you get that outline done, though. The outline's the key thing with a screenplay. The outline's the key thing with any story, by the way. I know somebody who wants to write more, and this individual is a fantastic writer, and they're trying to keep writing and do more. And I'm encouraging this person to try more opportunities, not just the ones that are in front of them, but try more opportunities. And there's one right here that you're doing, which is great, but try a couple more. Like maybe, or at least try to go for it in another production. You're already on this one production. Try another production, you know, or maybe give a call over here. You know, it really takes a lot of hustling to get to the level that you want to get to. It really, truly does. I can't stress that enough. And maybe I should do that. I know I have my podcast, Mad Hustle. Haven't done it for a couple of weeks, but because we just get so busy. But it does take Mad Hustle. Get my book, Mad Hustle, by the way. It's a great book. If you want to pitch shows in Hollywood, it's got a lot of great advice in there. And I think it'll really help you. But just to close up, guys, remember, don't chase the paycheck. You're the only one that can achieve your dream. And what does success mean to you? What does success mean to you? Yeah, and I think I said if you chase the paycheck, you can be replaced. Yeah, because anyone can do that. But if you're achieving your dream, the paycheck will come. The paycheck will come, I promise you that, because you're the only one that can do it. Look at any successful entrepreneur. You know, Elon Musk, the Tesla. The lady who created Spanx. Look at that lady, you know. Walt Disney. Everyone's unique. Everyone is unique, you know. But if you want to do just a regular job for the paycheck, that's going to be where you go into basically a huge room full of everybody in the world who's trying to do the same thing you're doing. And yeah, you can do that. Nothing wrong with it. But we're here talking to visionaries like you. On Vision Possible, we talk to people that really want to go to a different level, and I know that's you. Okay? So have a great rest of your week. Really be encouraged this week, because I really feel something awesome is going to happen for you this week, because you are someone who wants to achieve that dream. Gosh, and it's a dream that only you, I can't do your dream. I can't do anything close to what you can do, you know, and vice versa. My dream is special to me. So have a wonderful week. I'm really, really proud of you all. Keep writing down those goals. Let's hear about them one of these days. Let's hear about them in the chat here, in the comments. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you got out of this video. I'd really appreciate it. Let me know what you want me to talk about as well. I want to hear more about what you want me to talk about and what you got out of this video, because I think it's going to really help me grow, and I think it'll help you grow as well. All right? So don't forget, here at Vision Possible, we want to help you make your daydream your